everybody, welcome back to RacingDudes.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. Well, the action heats up at Churchill Downs. It's closing weekend there, but before we get to that closing day, let's go to Saturday, June 29th, race 11 on the card, the Stephen Foster Grade 1 event. Going a mile and an eighth, $1 million the purse course. This, other than the Kentucky Derby, this is the, the big race at Churchill Downs each and every year. All right, let's get to it. Let's see what we can do here. We're going to go through the field one by one. Of course, field of 9 set for this one. And like I said, we'll go through it one by one, and then we'll give the winning pick. All right, we're going to go number 1 to start it off, Pyrenees. And this is a horse last time out, winning the Pimlico Special, beating Kings Barnes there at the end, coming off 4 straight victories in a row. Look, from a speed figure standpoint, this horse still seems to be a little bit slow, but from, a horse that just likes to win, there's a lot to like about this horse. There's no doubt about it. Stepping up again, last time out was a grade 3 event there at Pimlico Special, now up to a grade 1, but this is a logical progression. This is probably where this horse should be. So I think he shows up here with a bit of a shot at what should be a decent price. I would still think this horse isn't going to get bet down too much when people see the analytics from a speed figure standpoint. I look at time for him. He's one of the lower numbers out of all the horses. So, but still, I've said a million times, numbers don't mean everything. This horse can win, as shown, and had that big layoff, came back 4 in a row. He's in with a shot, no doubt about it. All right, number 2, First Mission, next on the list here. Probably going to be the favorite in this race after 2 straight victories. Won the Essex easily at Oaklawn Park, and then showed up and just dominated the Alysheba on Kentucky Derby weekend here at Churchill Downs. So 2 easy wins. I thought the Alysheba was really nice from First Mission. Just kind of blew him away. Kind of since he's come back, you got to win an allowance. You come back from injury, I should say. Win an allowance. Second, only lost a nose in the Clark, and a really good performance. Total no-show, the Pegasus, just a horrible race, and then came back with those 2 big victories. So he deserves to be the favorite. He's going to be tough to beat. Of course, Brad Cox, once again, always tough in these spots as well. The number 3 is Happy American. Look out for this horse, as far as hitting the board at a price. We've seen him be able to do it before. His best days may be behind him, though. We saw him last year. Of course, he got 3rd last year in this race at 48-1. So that's why my, kind of my first comment was, look out for this price. Look out for this horse hitting the board at a price, because we've seen him do it here before. He kind of can jump up and run a big race. But like I said, best days seem to be a little bit behind him. 3 really bad efforts in stakes races. Last time out in an allowance drop, still couldn't get the job done. But ran a little better, I thought there. Kind of ran a race where it's like, well, that wasn't awful. So maybe, he can kind of rebound here. He's going to be a big price. He's going to need a pace meltdown. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he can upset as far as hitting the board once again. The number 4 is Disarm. I think he's a very interesting horse in the spot. Is it too early for him to maybe jump up and win a race like this, just running second off the layup? So if you forgot about Disarm, he was kind of the horse that he was always kind of around in some of the early Kentucky Derby prep races. He got in the Kentucky Derby and he got 4th. He still only had 1 win, on his resume. Then he goes to the Matt win. He won. It wasn't all that impressive, though. He was close in the Jim Dandy. He got 2nd in the Travers. He ran really well there. He was kind of every race. You thought he's progressing a little bit. Then he gets into a situation where he has to take some time off. He gets injured. Came back May 18th at Churchill Downs, running an allowance race. It wasn't the most overly impressive things visually, but it certainly was not a type of race that you really thought he would show his absolute best. He's really going to have to rocket forward off of that race to win. He's going to have to get back to like that Travers, type of effort, or Jim Dandy even type of effort to kind of compete here. It may be 1 race too soon. I'm not sure he can do it against this field. Maybe the 3rd race off the layoff against Stakes Company, we're going to see his absolute best. That's kind of how I'm approaching him here, but I would not be shocked if he shows up and gives him a big run here. I think they've always kind of thought this horse was going to be good as a 4-year-old, and he started off with a victory. Let's see if he can get another one here. All right, number 5 is Dreamlike. It's another horse, weird horse, right? Pennsylvania Derby, last year got 2nd. Sometimes this horse runs really big. Sometimes the horse doesn't do much at all. Came back from a layoff this year to run second, only lost a neck there at Keeneland, and then ran in the Blame, which was the local prep for this last time out. Third, beating 3 links. I don't know. I the way I kind of look at it here, maybe a hit the board candidate. I just don't think he can get up and get the job done and win the race. So number 6, let's go Classic Causeway next. Where do you start with him? He's been all over the world. He's been on turf. He's been on dirt. He really has come back this year and just not done great. His first start was his best. He ran at Oaklawn Park off of a long layoff, ran in the Temperance Hill Stakes. That was at 1.5 miles on the dirt. He got second, only beaten ahead. Really good race, right? Shows up here at Churchill, gets beat 19.5 by Next. Shows up in an allowance next and gets beat 10.25. He didn't do any running in either one of those last 2 races. I would be shocked if he does much running here. I don't have a lot of interest in him. I think you just got to try to get him out towards the front again and hope he can hold on. This is a horse with a wild resume. There's no doubt about it. But this year specifically, it just kind of looks like he may be cooked a little bit. Just hasn't quite looked the same. All right, number 7 is King's Barnes. This is another one I have a hard time backing in this race. Look, what was the excuse in the Pimlico Special, right? He should have won that race. He gets caught late. Before that, he did have a couple of nice efforts. I thought the Ben Ali was really good. His allowance race, his first race off of a layoff at Gulfstream, it was just okay. I just couldn't get behind this one too much either. I've never been a huge fan of him. I know a lot of people have over the years or were big fans of his. 3 straight wins to start his career. Horrible trip as far as just setting a brutal pace in the Kentucky Derby. So I don't hold that against him. Total cross the line through that. But, then didn't run very well at Monmouth in the prep for the Haskell. Got injured, though. So, whatever. Yeah, that's an excuse for sure that's valid. These 3 races this year, and again, it's kind of been a weird campaign. They've kind of handled him with kid gloves a little bit, firing him in the grade 3 Ben Ali, putting him in the Pimlico Special. They're kind of trying to bring him along slowly. It feels like maybe he'll bounce back out of what I thought was a kind of a poor effort in the Pimlico Special. I also think that cut back to 1.125 miles will kind of get him back to where he needs to be. I think we'll see him at his best. I just don't think he's good enough. That's where I was here. But obviously, Pletcher Saez, a horse that does have 5 wins and 8 starts, it's not going to be a shock if he wins. I'm afraid he's going to be too low of a price. I just couldn't take him in the spot. All right, the number 8, Steel Sunshine. For me, this is a big-time long shot. I don't give this horse too much of a chance to win, but he does kind of remind me of the number 3, Happy American, where we're going to drop back. We kind of know what we're going to do. The horses that are tired late, I think Steel Sunshine can pass a few of them. So this could be a horse that could hit the board. I don't think it's a serious win candidate. I do think this horse can hit the board. So you might keep an eye on number 8, Steel Sunshine, for that. And then finally, the number 9, Skippy Longstocking. This horse is coming off 2 straight wins, including the Oaklawn Handicap, where he looked great. His win in the Challenger at Tampa Bay, it was solid, but didn't really face a whole lot that day. Wasn't, it was impressive for sure, but, it's kind of like he should have done that a little bit. He was 3-5 in that race. He should have, and he looked like a 3-5 shot, but the race, the Oaklawn Handicap, really eye-opening for me. Better field for sure, and he was able to get the job done. Tougher field this time out. That's the bad news. We've kind of seen this story play out with him when he gets in those spots, like, say last year, the Charlestown Classic, or the Challenger, even in Tampa last year. He gets in those spots, okay, those are good spots for him, but when he raises up to the top of the top levels, he hasn't been able to get it done. That's my worry here as he takes on some pretty nice ones in this spot. All right, field of 9 there. We went through all of them. I'm going to go number 2, First Mission, on top in this spot. Look, I thought he was set to have a huge year, and the Pegasus, I had him picked in the Pegasus, which is an embarrassing pick looking back on it, but I thought he was set up for a big year. He was awful in that race. I think it's set him back a little bit, but he's built up with 2 big races in a row now. And I think Brad Cox has kind of got him figured out. They've got his races spaced real nicely here, how Cox kind of likes to space them out. I think he gets it done. I think number 2, First Mission, going to be awfully tough in the spot. So number 2, First Mission for me. All right, if you want free picks for every track every day, including this card, all the races, go to racingnews.com, go to free picks, and you can find all those win picks. If you want exactas, tries, and multis, make sure to go to the products page, get the bombs, get the rockets, and get the premium products for all your needs there. All right, guys, thanks everybody for watching, and good luck if you're playing at Churchill Downs on Saturday.